Welcome, my babes, theys, and gays, to a little vacation get ready with me. We're going to start out with skincare because it is really important to making this foundation and everything look smooth and feel comfortable throughout the day. I didn't want it to get to where it felt cakey and dry, so I made sure I was nice and moisturized. Of course, we got to put some sunscreen on, but I am going to let that shit sit before I put anything on top of it, because if it's too wet and I put stuff on top of it, it just feels like it slips and falls off throughout the day. So, grippy primer, because I cannot help but put in a decent primer in order to get my makeup to last, because makeup will not last on me without a good primer. And if you're wondering, this makeup lasts over 8 hours before it started to look a little dingy, a little worn, and I think that's pretty good because I'm on SSRIs, which means I sweat my ass off in some heat. But honestly, it wasn't really going anywhere. It wasn't very noticeable, and I was happy with that. That was good enough for me. One thing that people seem to either love or hate is priming your eyes with concealer. And look, let me tell you, I used to be a don't do that person, but honestly, I have found that concealer works just fine for me. It doesn't crease too much if it's a nice lightweight concealer. A thicker concealer is going to crease more on your eyes, but a nice lightweight concealer, and I don't have to buy an extra product, and I am perfectly happy with that because your bitch is on a budget. Now, this did get just a little bit dingy looking, just a little bit muddy when I blended some of the pink with some of this green. If you don't know color theory, pink and green are complementary colors, and when blended together, they can get a little on the muddy side, a little brown tinge. And so in a couple of spots, it did get just a little bit muddy, but I took some yellow and blended it out, and it was fine. Honestly, I should have taken the yellow and blended into the pink before putting down the green, but I wanted to make sure of where I was laying out my colors, and I was a little elevated while doing this look and went into it with really no plans of what I was doing. So overall, was it a little bit of a mistake? Maybe. Was it a big problem? No. It was something easy to fix, and I wasn't too upset about it. I did just want to note it because I know that some people can be kind of scared of using colorful colors, and I know that it can be a little intimidating, and one of the reasons is because people will use complementary colors, blend them together, and not be sure why they turn out that way. So if you're interested, I would love to do a video going over complementary colors, blending them, and tips to put those colors together without having that muddiness. Let me know in the comments below if that is something that you would like to see. I would love to do that because I also am an artist and I am obsessed with color theory. The name of my eyeshadow game is Blend Baby Blend because honestly, I didn't pick up a single orange shade, but you can see a little bit of an orange tint where the pink and the yellow blended together. I am obsessed with doing that. I can pick up less product, get a nice transitional feel to the colors without giving that harsh line between colors. So blend, baby blend. Don't get me wrong, there might be times where you want that harsh line, but for this, I was going for a soft gradient. I am cutting the crease with the same concealer. I could have taken my micellar water and cleaned that up before putting down the concealer, but honestly, I didn't get too much product in the lower part, and it didn't feel like I was going to be overpacking the lid by putting the concealer on top because I haven't used anything but a very thin concealer. I am going in with my fingers for all of the shimmer shades because a lot of shimmer shades perform a lot better with the finger than what they do with a brush. And I find that if you're using the brush, a lot of times you're having to pick up a lot more of the product in order to get that pop that you're looking for with a shimmer shade. So I'm using the finger, and I am so sad that I did not fix this shade in my Subculture palette. Oh my god, do I know how to talk? Sometimes I don't know, but I am so sad that I did not fix that shade before I left for vacation because it is one of the best shades in that palette. And get ready to experience me having some heartbreak as I figure out that my favorite stick foundation is on its last life. I couldn't even get enough out to really complete this look, and it made me so sad. I definitely need to replace this because it is one of my go-tos, and I had no idea I was that low on it. So I'm thinking there's gonna need to be a makeup haul in the future. To go in with another one of my favorites, I am so glad this foundation was on sale at Walmart when I found it, because I probably wouldn't have tried it elsewise. And honestly, it is one of my favorites. It is such a thin foundation that doesn't feel over cakey, but it also does give you a very full coverage look. And I love a foundation that's not extremely thick, but full coverage, because I get a lot of discoloration on my face due to various illnesses that I have, and I like something that I can really even that skin tone out without feeling like I'm putting on a ton of product. Even though I do tend to layer up my product and put on more than I probably should. Like, for instance, I am putting on way more concealer than I actually need, but that's because I was trying to even out an area where the two foundations were kind of meeting and mixing. I wanted to even that area out and make sure I had good coverage, so I was using the concealer for that. It was, again, a very lightweight concealer, so even though I did that, it didn't get cakey throughout the day, and it didn't really slip or move or anything of that nature. I was able to sweat in it and it didn't get super creasy, and I was really happy with that. I honestly cannot recommend the Wet n Wild concealer enough because it is so affordable while also being so lightweight and good coverage. I went in with my contour or bronzer, however you want to look at it, because it is on the warmer tone, in a little bit of a different way than normal, but I think I like how it turned out. It might be my new normal. I like the shape that it gave my face. I wanted a very sun-kissed look. I went in a little heavy with the blush. It was a little bit more sun-kissed than what I was wanting, but it blends out so beautifully. And I did pick up the brush that I had also used with some concealer in order to help get that nice even gradient between the concealer and the blush. And honestly, it just really helps to tone down a blush or a bronzer that you've gone a little too heavy with. I think it's one of the best tips for anyone who is intimidated by a product, especially a cream product, because it does work best with creams. I think it's one of the best tips that I can give is to keep the brush that you use your foundation or your concealer, or the sponge that you use with your foundation or concealer, and just blend over the edges of the blush and the concealer. It really helps to melt them together and get that seamless transitional feel. Something I've been doing a lot lately that I think I really love is taking the deepest color that I use for my eye look on an angled brush and building a wing feeling or a wing shape with the eyeshadow. I have done it several times now and have also done it with building other shapes, but that's a separate thing. I have just really been loving, even just for a casual makeup look, taking that deepest color and creating that wing. I feel like it just gives so much dimension to the eye, and I am obsessed. It is something that I will probably be doing for a long time until I absolutely get sick of it and then never want to do it again. Until I remember like 2 years later that I love it and it looks really good. One thing I had never really thought about is just how awkward it is to film doing eyeliner. I feel like your hand's just in the way the whole time, and I get into some weird angles to be able to see what I'm doing. So I just had never truly thought very long about just how weird it is and how hard it is to film doing eyeliner. I feel like it's something you have to be really conscious of what you're doing and like remember and remind yourself the whole time that you're filming it, because otherwise you can't see it. I started to feel like this look was really missing something. So I grabbed the Chameleon Wet n Wild eyeliners. What can I say? I love affordable makeup, and let me tell you, these are my favorite eyeliners. They're so pretty. They're such a fun pop of color, and they're also in a chromatic way. So like as you move and look at it, it's different colors from different angles. Ah, I'm obsessed with that. You can really see that multi-chrome shift right here because you can see the two different angles, how at one angle it kind of looks pinky and gold, and at the other angle it's very green. And I feel like that was just the perfect chef's kiss topping on this look. The only mascara you'll ever catch me wearing if I'm leaving the house, because I am not testing a new mascara, Bye Bye Panda Eyes. This gets rid of all of the transfer that I get, which is very common for me to get a lot of the transfer. A lot of mascaras chip and fall off and they get stuck under my eye, and I do not have the problem with the Bye Bye Panda Eyes. So if I'm leaving the house, you better bet that that's the mascara I'm throwing on. Something else that I really love to do is a darker color for the upper lip and a lighter color in the same family for the bottom lip. I want them to be sisters, or maybe even just first cousins. I don't need them to be like one shade different. I want a little bit more than that because I want it to be visible that it is a darker color for the top lip and a lighter color for the bottom lip, but I want them to be close enough that you could say they were related. You could say that they were coming to the family reunion. This has even been affecting me when I am shopping for lipsticks, because now when I see a lipstick, I'm immediately looking for a lighter or darker shade to complement it for the purpose of doing the upper and bottom lip trick. I'm just obsessed with it. I do always let the top lip sit for a little bit before I go in with the bottom lip, just to make sure that they're not blending together, because that's not really the vibe that I'm going for. I do love an ombre lip like that, but it's just not the vibe. This is more of a compossible feel that I'm going for. So here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't talk about as much as they should. It is talked about and known, but your lighting makes a huge difference in how your makeup looks. So something that I like to do when people start talking about how their makeup looks so bad, like it looks good in front of the mirror, but then when they go out in public and they see what their makeup looks like in other lighting, they're astonished at the way it looks. And I think that that is a huge sign that you need to switch to some more natural lighting when you're doing your makeup, because a lot of times the difference in lighting does make a huge difference. This is going to be 3 examples of lighting differences between me being in front of a vanity light, then in front of a window, and then actually outside. And I just think it shows how much of a difference lighting really makes in what makeup looks like. The photos are unedited, by the way.